buy the house through a mortgage. Yes, it is. That's right. In fact, sister, you know, this issue of interest, it is one of the major crimes in Islam.
Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Quran, Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu wattaqullaha wa dharu ma baqiya min ar-riba in kuntum mu'minin. Oh, you who believe, be conscious of God and leave what remains from this usury. If you truly believe in God, leave what remains from this usury if you truly believe in God. And then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَإِن لَمْ تَفْعَلُوا, and if you don't do it, فَأَذَنُوا بِحَرْبٍ مِّنَ اللَّهِ وَرَسُولِهِ, then be warned of a war from God and His messenger. Be warned. Allah's given a warning. Be warned. Now, the Jews know this. The Christians know this. It wasn't until 1832 that the Catholic Church started permitting this stuff. They knew it. It's in their books. It's in the Torah. They know. Aristotle said it's the most unnatural form of wealth acquisition. Even the philosophers condemn it. You don't have to be a prophet to know the dangers and the inherent evils of this system. But wallahi, thumma wallahi, if you want to understand this situation, this is just one skirmish in a war that God has declared on a system that is unjust, that deprives people of their wealth, deprives people of their businesses, deprives people of their homes. With usury, everything foul comes to be. And that's why Muslims, they read these hadiths about the usury and they wonder, what's going on? Now look what's going on. Look where it leads. Look at the kind of suffering that this situation causes. But Allah says in Quran, يَمْحَقُ اللَّهُ الرِّبَى وَيُرْبِي الصَّدَقَاتِ. Because we have a duty and an obligation to those less fortunate. They're a tribulation. Allah has tried them with poverty, but He has tried us with wealth.
So it means that the people that take interest and give interest and write the contracts for interest, they have themselves made a proclamation of war against God. Now, if you're innocent and you don't know this, you're not responsible because you didn't know. But let me give you the principle behind it. Interest was a conspiracy that was created by a group of people that allowed a small group of people to wind up owning the properties of people for nothing. And after that, to not only own their properties, but to wind up owning and controlling the lives of even their children and their grandchildren for nothing. It's a conspiracy. And this conspiracy goes so far that through interest, different countries wind up in a situation what they call international debt. You've heard of foreign debt. So that countries are given money and they can't pay that money back. And so what happens, the people or the banks who have already been paid that money, another group of people go in there and take over the natural resources of that country, rule that country, run that country for hundreds of years on the basis of what? A debt that started out and built up interest. For instance, imagine a country borrowing 10 million and there being a 22% compounded interest on that every year. So you don't have to be a genius to understand that in a matter of 20 years, that 10 million winds up to be 230 million and it's still not paid. What do? They go and they start a civil war to make sure that people that are in place to begin paying that debt. And so imagine this not in one place, but all over the world, third world countries, undeveloped countries who enter these situations of debt and they wind up remaining in poverty and remaining under disease and other things through what? Banks, conspiracies that introduce this issue of interest. So this shows you that this crime is worse than slaughter. It's worse because it kills the spirit of people, their investments, their generations. And so the people who are engaged in that conspiracy, they have entered a war against God because it amounts to injustice and oppression. So for us Muslims, God made it clear to us. We don't write the contracts. We don't enter the contracts. And when we know about it, we try to find a way to get out of it.